very, very soon. Starting soon.
Each other.
Starting soon.
Not everything is black and white. What makes me wrong? What makes you right? I'm a Christian too, but I would never want to be like you. We see things differently. You don't know my heart and you don't know me. Stop holding this grudge. Why don't you let God be my judge? Your convictions, they are not mine. The way you act is out of line.
Sin that you're hateful in the name of Christ. Insult the precious, but don't play nice.
I'm sure the Father's proud of the way you treat your brother. It's sad to say the Christian way is beating up each other. Your convictions, they are not mine. The way you act is out of line.
Sin that you're hateful in the name of Christ. Insult the precious, but don't play nice.
I'm sure the Father's proud of the way you treat your brother. It's sad to say the Christian way is beating up each other now.
Sin that you're hateful in the name of Christ. Insult the precious, but don't play nice.
I'm sure the Father's proud of the way you treat your brother. It's sad to say the Christian way is beating up each other.
The greatest single cause of atheism in the world today is Christians.
Four color Zach. Wow, we got four color Zach in the building, straight from Seattle? Question mark? Where's your skateboard at, brother?
I'll say it again.
Let's
Now
go!
can I go home to my toys?
Let me get this straight. You don't believe in God because of Alice in Wonderland?
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you.
Irreverent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Irreverent. My name is DJ Zwane, and we have all kinds of stuff messed up around here, so you're gonna have to bear with us. So thanks for hanging out. This is gonna be a rather short show today. I just raised from the dead. You know, what do you want from me? I'm tired. I wanna go do other things than just sit here and talk to you guys about what I did in the afterlife, which apparently, according to the book that you people read, is I don't know. I guess I'm a zombie now. Is that how this goes? I'm not really sure. I don't really read the Bible, as you probably can tell. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. This is Irreverent, and we are out here in the dark, apparently, and dealing with all kinds of issues. But, you know, this is how we play. This is what we do. This is what we do. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Anyway, so, like I said, it's going to be a short show today, so I'm going to try to I try to gather all the things that I want to talk about. Good Lord, this is really, hold on, let me turn the lights on. This looks like a, looks weird. There we go. See, this is why you're part of the live show. This is why you're part of the live stream. You want to raw dog this, that was probably the worst way to put it on Easter Sunday. Oh, well, whatever. And this friggin' thing is still not working. Anyway, doesn't matter. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, like I said, I try to put together things and see, if I could put together some cohesive notes and ramble for you a bit, because Easter Sunday is it means a lot. It's a lot different to me than it was when I was a kid, because like my Christianity journey. It reminds me a lot of that. Did you ever watch, I don't know if you've ever watched the show, the MTV Oddities? MTV Oddities was a program that was obviously on MTV. It was a show, a cartoon, part of the, it was like a cartoon series, very weird adult type of cartoon. And one of them was called The Head. And The Head was a dude that had an alien that lived in his head, and the alien, the entire time, spoiler alert, the entire time you believe that the alien was actually the bad person, the bad guy in this whole thing. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out the guy that was actually the bad guy is the person, the head. I'm sorry if I spoiled it for you, but that's really, it's kind of wild, you know? It's wild to think that we have a that the head, the show The Head, was like it was the first thing that I thought about, because it was an alien that was in your head or in your body and in your soul, if you're into all that stuff. It's metaphorically it kind of tracks, right? So that's what I think of, because I grew up in the church. I was the kid in the front row. I was singing what they called in the Spanish church, they called them especiales, which is, it just meant that you went up there and sang a hymn that you learned, or a song that you learned, or read a Bible passage. Not indoctrinating at all. It's no indoctrination. No, absolutely not. We wouldn't call that indoctrination. I actually became a Christian at the age of 18. So after all the indoctrination, it took that long for it to stick. So at 18, I became a Christian, but right then I was a true believer. Like right then I was in it to win it. I would almost exclusively listen to Christian music. I became abstinent, sort of. It was kind of like the Christian abstinence, where you kind of like do everything but actual intercourse. So yeah, so there was that. So basically a lot of dry humping and edging, essentially. So I would only date Christian women. And the last time that I was in a serious relationship, it was about 10 years ago. Yeah, I guess 10 years ago now. And she was a Russian Israeli Jew from Philly. And she was and still is wonderful. She's great. I don't think that we would be compatible today, just because of who I am now as a person, and like how aware I am politically and historically about the things that I'd be cool as long as if she wasn't pro-Israel, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Scotty, what's up, man? Scotty says, Easter Sunday is the first Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox. That is some of the most pagan shit I have ever seen. That's true. No, and not only this one, but like all of these Christian holidays are Christian holidays because they were basically paired up with pagan holidays so that the Christians didn't feel left out. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. So, like, you know, a part of Christianity is that, in America, at least, it demands that you become a Zionist pig. And I was one for many years. I was actually a staunch Zionist. Or, I'm sorry, I've actually only been a staunch anti-Zionist since October 7th. And then I talked to a Palestinian buddy of mine who opened up a can of worms with my curiosity. Right then is where I saw, right around that time, when he and I sat down, maybe a little bit before that, was when Pisrael did the thing with the pagers in Lebanon, where my family's from. And I've always loved Lebanon, and I've always wanted to visit, but I never knew the politics of the region. So I just kind of had to, like, maybe I should have taken a second look-see, before I. But now much like when I left Christianity, I'm trying to undo the damage that I had or that I made with my actions and my voice, defending Zionism and trying to make a change, trying to make a change for the positive. So now I'm waiting for someone, and like this is how deep into the rabbit hole I've gotten. I'm waiting for some information about the village in Lebanon that my family is from. I have family in Lebanon still to this day. I had family members say happy birthday to me from Lebanon, and that was surreal to me. That was incredibly surreal to me. But like a moment that haunts me to this day is an encounter that I had at Cheers in Lake Mary. Cheers is a local bar, obviously. If you don't know what it is, I don't know what to tell you. It's a bar. So I was at Cheers in Lake Mary, and I was having a beer, and this guy and I started chatting. I found out that he was Lebanese. And he says, "Oh man, well yeah, fuck Israel, right?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually pro-Israel." And he was flabbergasted, as he should have been, as he should have been, as I would have been if somebody said that to me today. And he said, "But you're Lebanese." And almost proud of my ignorance, I said yes. I said, "Yep, I know." I don't remember how the conversation, faded away, but it didn't last long after that, obviously. And that was 20 years ago. I wish I could run into that dude again and apologize and say, "No, you're right. Fuck Israel." There is nothing, for those of you Christians who are following what's going on over there, there is nothing Christian-like about what's happening in Israel and what Israel is doing. The offing women and children by the hundreds of thousands on stolen land, no less. This would be the easiest layup for the church to be against. Theologically speaking, when the Bible talks about Israel, it's talking about the church, if I'm not mistaken. One of you theologians can tell me one way or the other. But the TikTok Christian, the summary says, "Christian reflecting on his journey and spiritual evolution. Share your thoughts." Yeah. Also dressed as Jesus. What up, Big Z? How you doing, man? But yeah, let's assume for a moment here that the Bible is talking about the land of Israel. Let's just assume for a moment that that's true. Why is it that when Israel, the state of Israel, was first being planned, it was planned for Madagascar. It was planned for like Argentina or South America somewhere. And then there was, I think, one other place. There were like 3 different places that were being courted for their land to be stolen, essentially. Not Germany, though. Obviously not Germany. Not the people who actually were the reason for stealing Palestinian land. Not them. No. It's not like they couldn't, take out a couple, a few thousand acres. I don't know. But between this whole Israel thing and healthcare, these are the 2 of the easiest layups that Christianity could have. Like, you couldn't get, like, it would be just insane. Like, the fact is that the American church is so bad at marketing. Like, the 2 easiest layups to change people's mind about your faith, about Christianity, would be those 2, healthcare and Israel. If they would just think about it for a second, the amount of money that the American churches make and the amount of money that they spend is way more than needed to fund universal healthcare. If you proposed that they get taxed, that the church gets taxed the amount of money it takes to run universal healthcare and say, that's what Jesus would have wanted, you would have so many converts. Like, so many of them. I mean, not me, because I know how the sausage is made and I've been there and I know better. But so many other people would absolutely fall for it. So that's your free marketing tip. The first denomination to advocate and really make an effort to make universal healthcare a reality with tax dollars from the church. That's it. Putting your money where your mouth is, as it were. You would have to charge a cover to that church just to be able to keep up. And then they would demonize them. Then they would be demonized again for charging a cover. Now, with that said, April Fool's was last week, and I almost faked converting back to Christianity. I had a few people actually ask me. They called me out. They were like, "Hey, what's going on? You posted some spiritual stuff out there. What's going on there?" And others were saying, "Are you going back to the church? Because I saw a picture of you looking like all spiritual and stuff." They didn't know that I was just, tripping rules. But then I hung out with my buddy Ben Collins. And Ben Collins is, without him knowing, I had a change of heart that day. Because Ben is one of those people that, one of the pastors that I still talk to who is deconstructing in his own way. But he has a new project called Jesus After Christianity. And I really want to dive into it with him at some point. So we're definitely going to do that later. But being that this is Easter Sunday or whatever, I figured that an irreverent episode is due. So I wanted to start out with shouting out the pastors that I still take seriously, that I still fuck with, that they're so cool. Another one that I still think is good, doing good work, is Shane Claiborne. I first briefly met the guy when he went to my church, and I was still a conservative Republican. He was actually a white guy with dreads running around the country in a school bus powered by cooking oil. And he was preaching a series called Jesus for President. Now, the thing that stuck to me about that sermon was how he was calling out all the hypocrisy in the church in a way that it made a lot of people feel really uncomfortable. Talking about, like, how the gay couple that tries the church but leaves because they just get chastised for being sinners, like those guys, while ignoring affairs, abuse, and gaslighting in the church itself. So, yeah. Like that's the kind of thing that I love when preachers preach, because honestly, Ben Collins, Shane Claiborne, and there are maybe 2 or 3 other pastors that I still think that I would take seriously. Christian views back then and now are so different. Back then, like when I was there, like it feels like both conservatives and progressive Christians have moved further into their own camps, into their own bubbles, and it's primarily because of the faith getting hijacked by the Trump cult. But it didn't start there, obviously. The faith got hijacked way before then. That can of worms was loose from back in the Ronald Reagan days, the HW, the W days, and even Clinton. All of these people helped create the cult that we have running the country today. Trump just made it so that you can do all the same stuff with less decorum, basically. That's the difference. A lot less brains, too. A lot less brains. But I'm going to ask, already knowing the answer, Christians, how do you square the Trump circle this far into the game? And also I want to know, my buddies who talk about offing kid touchers, how do you feel about our kid toucher in chief being credibly accused over a dozen times of SA, including with children? I never ever want to hear you talk badass about what you would do if they came after your kid, because clearly you would just vote them into the presidency. So there is that. Let's see. Scotty says, as long as you buy his Trump Bible, yeah. But even then, dude, you could literally cover the Epstein files for him and he'll still fire you. Looking at you, Pam Bondi. Anyway, today's Easter, and I think it would also be appropriate to talk about how I lost my faith in Christianity on my Jesus year. I was 33 when I started deconstructing. And notice I said I lost my faith in Christianity specifically. I still have faith. I have faith in other things. Not in an invisible sky daddy that's going to protect pedos, and not even it's laughable that this is how Christianity got hijacked, and this is who did it. So I don't even believe in supernatural faith, really. There are things that I don't understand. I could say that. That's about as close to it as I can tell you. But outside of that, it's a personal faith. It's a faith for specific people. And will some of these people maybe let me down? Possibly. But they won't have a bunch of supernatural gaslighting and stupid mumbo jumbo to try to get me to stay in a toxic relationship. So there is that. like I said, this isn't going to be a long show. I only got a couple more things. I actually got one more thing that I want to talk about, and it's not even a thing that I want to talk about. I just want to show you, and this is actually a video that was sent to me by somebody that I really care about, and they grew up in the church as well with me, and I got to tell you, this was a very It was put together. This, you could tell this lady is grew up in the church. You can tell. You can just tell by how she speaks and how her just the way that she presents it is you can tell she's been in the game for a minute. So we're gonna close it out with this one here.
Ooh, somebody did not like when I said, why put the Bible in schools when it's not working in churches, and used one of the top two deflections people use when they get uncomfortable with me pointing out hypocrisy in the church. The first is, well, you were never a Christian to begin with. And the second one is yours. I know the church hurt you, but you just need to get over it. Now, did people in the church hurt me? Sure, but no more than my family did, no more than other people did. People will be people no matter where you find them. But I'm addressing systemic hypocrisy in the church. And you're talking to me like I'm some back row spectator. Let me tell you who the fuck I am. I went to all Christian nationalist schools. I was privately trained in Christian theology for over 10 years, Christian apologetics for 5. I went to Liberty University, where I took my theology courses at the holy sites in Israel, and I have read the Bible cover to cover 13 times and have never stopped studying it. Let me talk to you about what systemic hypocrisy looks like in the church. You claim morality while you endorse a serial adulterer. You claim love and peace while you endorse racism, sexism, discrimination against people. My complaints against the church come from the Bible. Now, you guys love Leviticus. Leviticus 19, verse 33. When an alien lives with you in your land, do not mistreat him. The alien living with you must be treated as one of your native born. Love him as you love yourself, for you were aliens in Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Let's go over to Exodus 22, verses 21. Do not mistreat the alien or oppress him, for you were once aliens in Egypt. Let's jump over to Zechariah. Have you read Zechariah? We're going to go to Zechariah 7, verse 9, where it says, this is what the Lord God Almighty says, administer true justice, show mercy and compassion to one another. Do not oppress the widow or the fatherless or the foreigner and the poor. Let's go to Proverbs 31, verse 8, shall we? Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all of those who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. Isaiah 1, verse 17. You see all that right there? 1, verse 17, it says, learn to do right, seek justice, encourage the oppressed, defend the cause of the fatherless, and plead the case of the widow. Let's go to James really quick. James 2.
Just real quick, I've never written that much in my Bible. Like, that is a lot of writing in your Bible. I was never the kid that would write notes. Like, that was exhausting to me. Watching people in the church just like writing stuff down and highlighting, and like people would like they're like the holiest people had the biggest Bibles with the most like different color like highlighters and stuff. It was very wild. Very I'm trying to think if there's anything. I mean, I guess with music I am that neurotic. I guess you could call it. I write stuff down like when it's stuff that I mean, yeah, I don't know. That I really am into. I guess I wasn't really into Christianity, maybe. I don't know.
2 verse 5 says, listen to me, my dear brothers. Has God not chosen those who are poor in the eyes of the world to be rich in the faith and to inherit the kingdom he promised to those who love him? But you have insulted the poor. Is it not the rich who are exploiting you? Are they not the ones dragging you into court? When asked who is my neighbor, Jesus gives the parable of the Samaritan, a man of a different race, a different religion, and a different country who was his neighbor. He says in Matthew 25, what you did for the least of these, giving me food, water, shelter, welcoming the strangers, you did for me. My favorite verse growing up was Psalms 34:18, for he is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit, because I was crushed in spirit. The favorite part of my faith, the most inspirational part of my faith, was that Jesus always stood for the outcast and the poor and the foreigner and the people who needed it the most.
That part.
Them, lifted them up, stood up to the people in religious power and said, how dare you act righteous while you leave people behind? And I believed in all of that so much that when I realized I was part of a movement that did not believe in love and helping the poor and helping the outcast, regardless of who they are, I left. I left when it cost me my family. I left when it cost me my church, my community. I left when it caused me to be ridiculed, because I still believe that. This is what's holding you accountable, not me. Ooh, somebody did not like.
That lady said it better than I ever could have said it. I mean, like, she went in on that comment. And no, I mean, like, I couldn't say it better. This is why I wanted her words to close out the show. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was your Easter episode of Irreverent. Oh, hi, Spiffy. Yeah, my Jesus costume. Thank you so much for hanging out. My name is DJ Zwane. We'll do this again next time. I'll be recording the hijack tomorrow, and I'll be dropping the Sanford Sit Down next week, along with the other episodes. So, a lot of stuff coming up. Follow me on social media. Do it. Do it!